Hello and welcome to for non-gamers.
I'm not going there.
All right.
People get a little touchy when I say that.
Welcome to episode 2. This is Cheats and Mods and Cheats. And as you may have guessed, we're going to look at some mods and some cheats. And the first mod we're going to look at is called the Toggle Compass, which allows you to toggle the compass. Now, if you're like me, you like taking lots of selfies and screenshots. And so this is awesome because you don't have any clutter on the screen. I'm also using the dot crosshair. So, yeah, basically, I mean, the only problem with it is you get lost a little bit when you're aiming with your bow, but who cares? It makes for nice pictures. Alright, now you will recognize the Asteria as where we started last time, and this here is Serenity. She is one of my deadly babes, the female followers who I like to have. She's very cool, and this is the inside of the Asteria, something we didn't look at last time.
Great to be indoors again.
And look at that. We got this lovely little fireplace with plants and some hanging moss. And right here is a great place to take selfies if that's your thing. And there, that's me, Brother Seamus. Dressed up like the Emperor, because why the hell not? Now we're going to meet a few of my other deadly babes. This here is Mirai. I'm married to her. Sophia, who I will be married to, and Serana. And this is Seranaholic version 1.7. Unfortunately, not somebody you can marry, and I don't care who says differently. If you're on the Xbox, you cannot marry Serana. And now we're going to take a look at the downstairs area. Now there's nothing here that's functional. This is all just for show, and I'm fine with that. And I do apologize for the contrast and saturation. The last time I made one of these videos, it was a little washed out, so I turned it up, and I may have gone a little too far with it. My apologies. Anyway, as I was saying, there's nothing functional here, but look at that. You got cool blue flame. This is all just, decoration. And, ooh. She makes a noise like a squeak toy. But I don't care. I mean, I like to play for fantasy and immersion. And people say, oh, you use mods and cheats. That's not the real game. That's cheating and blah, 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 blah. Well, whatever, man. This is a game where you kill dragons. If you die, you respawn. So this is how I like to do it.
I think people are staring at us. Do we look weird together?
Anyway, so I went with all glass armors and glass weapons here because I thought it looked cool. And people might think, well, why didn't you use Orcish because it's Plumber, whatever, make your own damn video. And of course, there's Talos there. I'm always a Stormcloak because I believe in freedom of religion. And now we're going to take a look at the basement. And again, there's really nothing here. The only thing you can actually interact with is there is a keg of some kind of mead. I can't remember what kind of mead. Blackbriar mead. But beyond that, I think it's just cool. It kind of adds to the immersion. Now you know how the Asteria stays afloat. Got this weird room down there. And I just think the whole thing looks fantastic. The decorations look fantastic. It's this like really sort of, if you're into maybe smoking pot or whatever, this is a great place to be. And here's the bedroom, of course. Now, I play a hippy-dippy game where nothing gets killed so much, but Mirak, he deserved to die, so I killed him. And I dressed up my mannequin with his stuff. And here we got like a shower, and we got a sink. Stuff that you generally don't see in Skyrim. And we got this cool Dwemer chandelier. And of course, over here by the bed, we've got a garden and a waterfall behind the bed. And that, to me, is very, very cool. Like, and this is it's a very unique mod, and Skyrim is a very unique game. I'm on my like 20th, at least 20th playthrough right now, and it's one of those games that, I mean, it's been out for 9 years, and people just keep playing it despite the fact that it's almost a decade old. And why? I mean, look at this. The landscapes are fantastic, and thanks to these modders, you can keep remaking the game again and again and again. Like I said, not a lot of death in my game. I have Betrayal at Hrothgar, which is a mod that makes it so there is no civil war. I use the Parthenax dilemma so that I don't have to kill Parthenax and I don't piss off the blades. And I have a boat. That's a house that floats above a lake. And what I mean by that, well, you're about to see. There it is. It's not floating on the lake. It's floating above the lake. And that's even cooler. All right. Now we're going to take a look at inside one of my many, many player houses, and a mod called Marvellous Mirabelle, which means that Mirabelle is not dead. She's my follower, which is great because I think she's like just real cute and everything. And this here is Vivace, who has shared my bed a few times. Oh, sorry, warmed my bed. Alexis, she has some of the most interesting facial expressions, mostly just like what you just saw there. Clara, who says all these quirky little things, and she's also cute as a bug's ear. And I think now we're going to take a look outside. Araya, who is my one vanilla follower. She's the only one that exists in the vanilla game. Of course, she's not dressed like that. The way I get them dressed like this, I use Skimpy armor and clothing Seraphim, and 2K improved vanilla clothing. And of course, whatever, I Murder Assassin and Nocturnal's clothes.
Lead the way.
This here is Shaw. She's my most sort of cartoonish follower because she is just so freaking buxom. I mean, she's just popping out of her outfit no matter what she wears. And yeah, the boob animation, not very believable, but I don't like them like sitting there like lumps of clay. That just looks weird. So
be careful out there.
I went with it. And I think the last follower here is Asteria, who is like the female version of Cicero. Again, just really cute, and not annoying like Cicero. I can't stand that guy's voice. All right, now here we are, Thieves Guild. Or,
I'm listening.
I've actually changed it because, you know, they say, oh, we don't kill people. That's not what the Thieves Guild does.
What did you need?
And then they ask you to kill people. It's a little bit annoying. So I used a mod called Tailor's Measure. And I switched all of their clothing to chef's clothing. So now they're the Chef's Guild. And there they are. Well, everyone dressed like a chef. You can use this mod to redress any NPC with whatever you want. I went with a chef. Look, they're chefs. They're chefs. She's a chef. Even this chick here who changes your face. Yes, she's a chef.
Until next time.
And now we're going to just take a little look in the cistern because I just want to make sure I got everyone. Oh yeah, here we are, and yes, they are all chefs. There's a chef looking all cool, there's a chef practicing archery, a chef looking all like emo, and a couple of chefs eating food. Alright. Okay, now this is Castle Volkihar Rebuilt. And the thing that bothers me about Castle Volkihar is that after the Dawnguard quest line is finished, it's just basically this giant, like, useless space. You never go back. And it's filled with these human cattle who are, like, super depressing. They walk around and, like, what's happening? And, so now it's a Dawnguard fort, filled with Dawnguard. And I think they look just great. I dressed them up in fancy party clothes. And look at that. It looks so sharp. And, yeah, because they don't leave the castle, I figured why not? They're all just hanging out, drinking wine, and they look like they're ready to go to the May Ball. And so now this is a nice welcoming place where you can hang out. You can buy stuff off the vendor here. And look at that, the apothecary. Is that how you pronounce it? Apothecary. She's dressed like a jarl.
I tell you.
And usually when I go to fast motion, I will mute that out. But I just like the sound of the castle. Anyway, yeah, so there's a bedroom over here. And we're going to check out Seranah's bedroom. See? There's Seranah's bedroom. There's her bed. There's her walk-in closet. Yeah, Seranah lives here now because I figure what grown-up ex-vampire doesn't want to live with her mom? And speaking of her mom, here we are at Valerica's study. And over there is Valerica looking all sultry and vampy and foxy, and she looks to me like what Seranah's mom would look like.
But I appear to have plenty.
And I think that's cool. I wish I could change her. I wish I could take her to see whatever that guy's name is, Immorthal, so that she would have blue eyes instead of those red eyes.
You appear to have something on your
But
mind.
whatever.
What is it?
I still think she looks like just sexy as hell. And this is where she stays. She never really goes into Castle Volkihar. Seranah never really comes in here. So it works out. They have their space, but they're still together. And of course, here, this is the castle, which is creepy and nightmarish, so I spawned some NPCs. Unfortunately, all they do is stand around just like that. They don't, move around, they just stand there. Wherever you spawn them, that's where they stay. So what I'm going to be doing is actually recruiting some followers, bringing them here, and that way they will move around, interact with the castle, and just bring some life to this sort of dead space. But I mean, look at the size of this. This is immense. Huge, huge castle. Really cool player home that you would never ever use without this mod. Which, I mean, I don't know why they didn't, the original programmers didn't make this a usable space. Look, this guy is just standing there looking at his bed. He's standing there looking at his bed. You come back in 3 weeks, they'll be standing there looking at their bed. Anyway, they should have done something. In the vanilla game, this here, it's all rubble and crumbled and broken walls and everything else, and now it's a cool home. Yay for modders. Anyway, we're going to take a look around the north, I believe the north tower. We're not going to bother going into the east tower because there really is nothing in the east tower. It's just one room. This is what the courtyard looks like. I'm hoping things will grow here eventually. And here's the north tower. See? Again, there's all space that will be utilized eventually. Maybe I'll make this, a second video about all of this. We'll see. Don't know why those guys are standing there. There's a beautiful bedroom here. But the fact is, this should all just have been a part of the game originally, and what are you going to do, right? I will still contend that Skyrim is the best game ever made. Prove me wrong. And of course, with the mods, it's even cooler. Anyway, this is about it for Castle Volkihar Rebuilt. We will say bye-bye, and then we are going to head to Solstheim. A place where I generally don't go because I hate it. I'll come here, I'll kill Mirak, and then I will never, ever, ever return. I hate the Rakelings. They're cute. No, they're not. They're annoying. Here, we're looking at 2 different clouds. I use Divine Atmospheres, which has clouds built in, but I'm also using a mod called Natural Clouds. Now, we're going to take a walk over to the balcony over here so we can have a little bit of a better look. But the reason I go with the 2 mods is because it kind of, to me, it provides this cool 3D effect. It's like there are clouds on top of clouds, and it gives it this depth that doesn't exist if you just use the one mod. And now I'm just going to walk right past the door because apparently I'm an idiot. And you might want to, I mean, the textures here too, the ropes look like ropes. They don't look like they're painted on the posts, and I can't remember what that's called. If I post my load order, you will see, but it's some kind of a texture overhaul. Anyway, this is Bayview, and it's the reason I will come back to Solstheim. You know, here it just looks all whatever. There's a bed, there's a room, but we head downstairs, and you will see that there's a lot more to this house. Now, I haven't actually decorated or anything because it's been my experience that when you put armors on mannequins in these custom player homes, they don't generally stay on them. And I don't know why that is. Maybe there's a mod. Maybe I should look into that. But yeah, here's some beds if you want to adopt kids. You got lots of space for them to stay. If you want to have a party, there's a big table there. You guys can play cards. And then you can go and whatever. You know, do some tanning on the tanning rack. And then there's this little, I love this right here. This is a closet space with a curtain. And you go behind it, there's a bucket, a copy of the Lusty Argonian Maid, and a stool. You draw your own conclusions. Anyway, a lot of stairs in this house. This is my favorite part by far. It is the giant hot tub. And the thing I love about it is you climb in. I'm not going to be down to my underwear right away, but if I sit down, I will be. But when the girls come in, they take their clothes off. And I will be making another video about the more not safe for work mods that are available for Xbox. Now, obviously, on the Xbox, there's no nudity. But there is stuff out there that I have found. The reason I'm making this video here now is because basically I'm going to be installing some of these mods, and they are potential game breakers. Now, I'm over 200 hours into this playthrough, and it has been ridiculously stable. I've got over 100 mods installed, and it doesn't crash. I mean, it does occasionally, but 200 hours in, even the vanilla game starts to crash.
Used to ordering me around.
Yeah, it's
Can't do it yourself.
just
huh?
like, how can you tell we're married, right? Anyway,
Fine.
at some point I'm going to get all of my followers in here. We're going to have a nice steam bath. We're going to like open up our pores and detoxify. It's beautiful, and look, her boobs did that weird thing too. I think Mariah was a little shy because clearly Sophia works out. She's really buff. So Serana, they're all buff. Another reason to love this game.
Whatever.
Anyway, I am going to equip my Ring of God mode so that I can run. And then we are going to take a look at the rest of the house. A short look. I'm going to go really quick because there are lots of stairs. And I don't feel like taking up too much of anyone's time. I try to keep these videos under 20 minutes. So we go upstairs, up more stairs, down some stairs, down some more stairs, down more stairs still. And finally we get to something. And it's not much. It's cool. There's some beds here. I guess if you have company or family that's staying from out of town, you know, you can put them up down there in the basement. They have to walk through the like wet patch because nobody likes having family staying from out of town. And then more stairs, which will lead us to the entrance to the Skull Village, which we've all seen before, so we're not going to bother checking it out now. Anyway, that is about all I wanted to show you. This is my cheats and mods and cheats. So, thanks for watching and happy gaming.